Yes, I've been doing this for 8 years. You want to know how to do the business? Hey, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions. The title of this video, The Real Truth About Storage Unit Auctions, Part 1. As many of you know, I'm always out there and doing a lot of research. That's the reason that things are just so crazy. And I came across this guide on eBay. Anyone that's unfamiliar with eBay, if you're a seller or just a eBayer, you could create your own guide detailing such things as how to spot fakes, what's a good tip here, a good tip there. Well, this guy, Electro Games, apparently he's been around the block a while, so there's a feedback at 3051. And he put up there about his experience as a part-time storage auction buyer and some of the things that he came up with and what people should expect. Now, I know you're going to think, oh, you're getting ready to bash him, to cut him up. No, actually not at all. He did a really good job based on his context of the business. Because when I was reading his guides, and there's part 1, 2, and 3, I was like, okay, this guy was actually out there. He was out there. But the thing is, and he helped me understand something that it was very evident, but it was kind of like right there in front of my face, but I just couldn't see it. I was full-time for many years, and even when I was part-time, it was still 20, 25 hours a week. And if you have a full-time job, Monday through Friday, you just are not going to be able to really get in the game deep because just simple logistics. You know, you can only be in one place at one time. And, you know, I've had some people, you know, a few people from the Storage Wars shows that kind of hit me behind the scenes, and it's like, and they read the blog and they were like, wow, I've been there. I know what you're talking about. I've gotten that type of stuff. I've even gotten more. And the real difference is all the people who contact me and like, man, I feel you, were full timers. That's the huge difference, because if you're part-time, the chances of you getting some of the stuff that I got, or even some of the stuff that's staged on television, is possible, but it's very unlikely, because someone like the type of buyer I used to be that spent 40 to 50 hours a week looking, I want to have much better success than you are by the very nature of I put more time into it. It's just simple math. You put in 20 hours a month going to auctions because you have full-time jobs. I put in 160 to 200 hours a month into auctions. Who's going to come on top? I mean, come on, it's just natural. So that was something, and I want to thank the guy because he really made a good point. Because a lot of the stuff I see online is actually just bullshit. There's a lot of people, there's this group of people, and I'm not saying they're all this way, you know, they're internet marketers. They see a product, they hype it up, they make money. That's how that game is played. But a lot of these guys are putting up some crazy information. Case in point, one of the blogs I read, it said, for the new storage auction buyer, just go to the auction and speak to the regulars and the veterans, and they're going to help you out. I almost fell out of my seat. Do you know the games we played with newbies? We purposely made people spend hundreds to thousands of dollars on trash. Yet a veteran is going to tell you, hey, new person, how are you doing? I am Glendon. Yes, I've been doing this for 8 years. You want to know how to do the business? Okay, I'll help you out. This is what you do. This is point A, this is how much cash, this is where I sell. Oh yeah, and if you do this and do this, then actually you won't be successful. Actually, if you do it this way, you're going to cost me money. So, sure, I'm going to give you all my secrets, all of my techniques, all of my associations, And also, I'm going to walk you in on all my relationships on items that I get are really good that I just can't sell in the regular marketplace. I'm going to give you that because you're new and you're very nice. Everybody in the room that would do that, raise your hand. I don't see any hands raised because that's just stupid. Most people are not going to do it. I've said it 1,000 times. If I hadn't become ill, this wouldn't be happening. There would be no YouTube. There would be no books. Because when I hear from the regular people, it's always on the side. A lot of these guys don't have YouTube videos or they're too busy. And I've noticed something. Like, there's a few guys who we've just kind of become friends. And, you know, they'll tell me, because I get stuff. It's like certain places, the crowds have become smaller. You know, and I've heard that from like 16 different people in various markets. And I'm going to tell you something. As soon as the sun reaches its apex this summer, they're going to get smaller because it gets hot in those units. You ever backed up on some hot iron in the unit and burnt yourself because it's that freaking hot outside? I have. So all that stuff is funny. And today, as I was working on stuff, because I'm actually clearing up a lot of stuff by creating a playlist and being able to copy and paste a standard response to help folks out, it's helped me out a lot, and I'm getting a lot of stuff done. Something I always wanted to do, but I haven't had the time, created a storage auction reseller mastermind group. This is a group where, you know, you and whoever else that's really in the business wants you to participate. It's on Facebook. It's free. I'm not going to advertise on it. I'm not going to let anyone else advertise on it because I'm moderating it. And essentially, this great energy that's happening on YouTube where people are collaborating and helping each other, going to kind of centralize it because there's a lot of people that put out great videos and they don't have a lot of views. And they're putting out some really good stuff. So we're just going to kind of pull them into the mix. And, you know, I'm going to hit everybody with an invite. People that I'm recruiting, I know have been doing this. They've got videos up. They've talked about the stuff. And we can just put everybody's energy together because going forward, there are going to be some fundamental changes that you will have to do to be successful in the business. It's just a fact of life because I put on my thinking cap. You know, this is the thinking cap. This is an old cap. This is my lucky cap. And I was like, okay, you had your business with everything that's going on. What would you do to make your business even more competitive? Came up with some stuff, and, you know, we'll talk about those things because a big part of this is collaboration. When I was in the business, it was like every man standing and the smartest guy usually won. Not the richest guy, the smartest guy. And what's happening right now is you really got to be on top of your game. You really do it because, you know, people who are not a part of this business don't understand the seasons and the cycles because the summer is a great time. It's a wonderful time if you know what you're doing and you have a plan. If you are what I call buy and sell, you know, like now and later that candy. Buy and sell, folks, is they buy on Monday and hope to sell on Monday. Some items that work, some items that doesn't work really well, and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And I'm going to tell you something about success. We live in a world where the difference between a gold medalist and a silver medalist is often a fraction of a second. Do you think that is only in competitive sports? It's the same in business. There's a guy out there who is only 5% smarter than you. Just 5%. But that 5% translates into thousands to hundreds of thousands to possibly millions of dollars more than you're making because you don't have that 5% edge. That's how tight it is. Just little stuff makes a huge difference. So I am going to put the links to the eBay guides. They'll be there first. I'm going to put the link to the storage auction reseller mastermind group right there on top. And you can just kind of go through this stuff because there's like two things that are happening that really concern me because you don't know how it's going to go. Because I don't know if you keep up with, you know, the silver and gold and the fiat currency and what's happening with our economy. there's a lot of monetary games that are being played, and these games are so serious that they could potentially collapse our dollar. It's very close, but there's so much maneuvering going on, it may not happen. But what do? Because if things get really bad, people are not going to stop needing certain items that you get out of storage units or whatever. And those who know how to barter and trade now are going to really be in the catbird seat when, the crap hits the fan. Because it's one thing if you've been doing it and you have to crank it up, and it's another thing if you've never done it and all of a sudden it's like, what do I do? What do I do? Either way it goes, you need to be prepared. If things get better, that helps you. You have more experience. There are less people coming out to the auctions because they can find jobs. So that helps your business. If things get worse, there are going to be more and more people coming out. And the people who are not educated do not have the resources. And when I say resources, I'm not talking about money. There's a lot of resources you need in this business that are actually more important than money. Because, I've told that story several times of rich people coming out thinking they were going to mess up our game, and we ran them off because they didn't know what they were doing. It's like when the United States Army went into the Vietnam jungles and we got our ass handed to us because, sure, we were bigger, we were badder, but we were on uncharted territories and they knew that ground well, and that's why it is like one of the ugliest wars in our history, because we didn't win it. No one really won that. And that's what's going to happen to new people coming out. It's uncharted territory, and there's all this information on the internet that is so bogus. I mean, seriously, I just sit there and realize that many of these people either have stolen stuff from my YouTube channel or my blog, because some of it I'm reading and I'm going, wait a minute, didn't I write that? Yeah, I did write that. Stop stealing my shit. And after I calm down and I go to another one and I look at it, I realize that a lot of these people have, maybe tertiary experience, very limited experience, maybe bought 10, 15, maybe 20 rooms. And for some, that's nothing. That does not make you an expert. I have bought 20 crappy rooms in a week and turn around the next week and bought 20, 30 excellent rooms. It's all, I hear these things like, you're going to only get one good unit out of 100. You're only going to get, the ratio is, there's usually one good unit out of 14. And I was like, what? I wouldn't have stayed in the business if the ratio was that bad consistently. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have bad weeks. You are going to have bad months. That is business. Every business goes through those cycles. But I never had a bad year. I never had a bad quarter. And really, when I started implementing systems, the bad months even went away. So that's the thing. It's all about experience. And by putting all this stuff together, you're going to have a much better experience out there. Because the thing is, you got to really have a lot of arrows in your quiver today. It's mandatory. It's not optional. When I did this stuff, it was optional, and that's just why I went boom. So that's the deal. Some stuff for you to chew on. You can join the group if you want to. Highly encourage it, because I'm going to get all these YouTube guys who are doing picking videos, storage auction videos, because they're out there doing this. They're actually really doing it. And you learn two ways by actually doing it. Now, can you imagine if you were doing it, you had some mentorship, and you got more experience from people who are doing it? Because I'm going to tell you something else. There's a lot of changes coming this fall. A lot of stuff that's coming. And I've put it out there, and people like, I don't want to be on the show. I don't want to be part of a show. I don't care about that. It's like one of my friends was talking about Kindle last year. I hate Kindle. I don't know why you're putting so much effort in ebooks. I hate Kindle. I'll never convert. Her son gives her a Kindle for Christmas. That heifer has 38 books on her Kindle and usually buys 3 to 4 a month, and she loves it. That's to let you know that right now your mind is like, no, I'm not going to do it. No. But the future's saying, I don't know about that, son. I really don't. Don't block your mind. I'm telling you, because you are not going to be able to beat this thing. You're just not. For that many shows to be coming on, that's a huge market. Give you the proper context, it's like a gas station on every corner. It doesn't make sense, but when you get the demographics that, hey, this neighborhood has 200,000 people, 50,000 cars go through the intersection this way, there's enough meat on the bone for everybody to have a successful business. Understand, this is huge. Storage auctions have not even, the shows and stuff that's coming, they haven't touched the surface. There's so much more that's coming. There's so much more. And if you get in the game now, you'll be in a much better position. So, this is your warning. Get on it, become a part of it, because you can't beat it. You can't. I've read the forums. I'll look at it. There are people who absolutely hate these shows. You really want to know something? Way more, to the tune of like 80-90% of people out there love those shows. Who hates the shows? People in the business. That's who hates the shows. There weren't that many people in the business, so it's not that many people hate it. Generally, the broad spectrum of America, I love those shows. I'll go out and talk to people like, hey, you ever watch Story? I love that show. Yo, man, I think it's a little suspect, but that dude Barry, he funny as hell. I didn't really think that stuff existed. It's kind of exciting. It's like a modern day treasure hunt. Keep hating if you want to. All I gotta say is I'm glad that my events occurred the way that they did. I started this stuff on YouTube in 2009. So you can't say, oh, he just got on the bandwagon, because I beat the shows by actually like 16 months. Little did I know this was going to happen. Little did I know. But hey, alright, that's the deal. This is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auction.